Hi, this is Tom, NerdRemix.com. Now, every once in a while you run across a film that maybe you want to like. The box looks like it's going to be cool. The title makes you think it's going to be pretty cool. And I have one of those movies today. Lesbian Vampires. See the chicks on the cover, they're hot. As far as I could tell, they are not in this movie. And let me tell you what is in this movie. It was done by this Mr. Creepo guy, I guess, who I reviewed one of their other movies, Skin Eating Jungle Vampires. Along the same line as this, but Skin Eating Jungle Vampires at least was campy and had some humor to it. This movie is, wow. It's written and directed by Tim Swartz, and the actual title of it, when you pop it into the DVD player, is Barely Legal Lesbian Vampires. The Curse of Ed Wood. It opens with Mr. Creepo, the guy that looks like a fat Sammy Hagar who's been on a real long meth bender, in a graveyard trying to resurrect Ed Wood, and this is horribly, horribly acted, horribly, horribly shot, and it's painful to watch. It's not even funny. I mean, if they tried to, they were shooting for humor and they missed terribly, and then you're talking, he runs into some fat 80s rock chick with huge hair. Looks like Tawny Katane from the one Whitesnake video had a few too many trips to the drive-thru. But anyway, that's beyond this. When the movie actually starts, Barely Legal Lesbian Vampires, no, there's nothing barely legal about these women. It starts with a couple of a lesbian scene, and I'm using that term loosely because both of these, well, the one chick's not too bad. The main character, who is Lilith, wow, she looks like she's been on the pipe for a while, and she wears granny panties throughout. So I don't know what that's about, but wow, she's not pleasant to look at, nude or otherwise. And I mean, a lesbian scene where a girl's muff diving and she's wearing panties, that's never good. And it's got to be the lamest lesbian scene I've ever seen in my life. Well, then Lilith leaves her girlfriend and runs into this Rocky Dennis-looking goth chick. Yeah, she's got really angular features and jutting jaw and everything else. Maybe she'd look good in certain settings, I don't know. But she takes the blonde crackhead back to Carmilla, the queen of the vampires. And supposedly Lilith is her pretty one that she's been searching for all life. If Lilith is her pretty one, she hasn't been searching too much. The pickings have to be pretty fucking slim. This movie's terrible, man. There's a few lesbian scenes with weird vampire guys in cloaks with very, very crappy plastic teeth, like the 25-cent ones that are in One Piece. They just slide it, and they got teeth, and they're going like stuff like that, looking around the corner at the chicks doing very, 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 very lame lesbian sex scenes. And at the one point, this Lilith girl, she's laying there, and I think she fucking OD'd on crack, because it looks like she passed out and maybe she needed a defib or something, I don't know. But there's a vampire with that kind of looks like Roseanne, that she gets staked, and the special effects are really horrible. Oh, wow. And then there's Muffy, the vampire slayer, who, wow, it's, man, there's not a lot I can recommend about this movie. The only thing that I thought was remotely funny was, one, there's a graveyard scene where obviously they didn't want to spend the time to actually bury a guy in the dirt, so they just buried him in a fucking leaf pile. When he comes back, he comes out of the fucking leaves. And then, you know, this big vampire party that Carmilla's having because she found Lilith, her pretty one. Yeah. They actually taped flyers to all these tombstones in you know, the cemetery. I thought that was kind of funny. But wow, there's not a lot I can recommend about this movie, man. It's wow, it's crap. It's crap. I didn't really want to sit through it. It's not so bad that I wanted to take this pen and gouge my eyeballs out so I wouldn't have to watch anymore, but it was borderline. And like I said, there's nothing barely legal about the Lesbian Vampires. Nothing at all. And it's almost like the dude whipped out his wallet and said, "Hey, how many rocks is it going to take you to put these cheap plastic teeth in and act like a lesbian while you're wearing your granny panties?" And that, my friends, does not make for a hot movie. It doesn't make for a scary movie. There is a little bit of gore. There's really, really, really bad shower scene where these chicks actually have an IV bag of blood that they squirt all over each other in the shower. And yes, there's a lot of waist up nudity. I think I saw one vagina. Yeah, there is one vagina in this movie that you see. But wow, there's nothing here to recommend, guys. Even with the copious nudity, there's not really anybody that you'd really want to see with their clothes off. And with that, just based on the humor, the laughable parts, that I think the leaves might have been intentional, but I don't know. Maybe they were too lazy to dig a hole somewhere. I couldn't fucking tell you. Just based on the humor of them putting the flyers on the tombstones and the total hilarity of calling Lilith the pretty one, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Yes, a 3 out of 10. It's Lesbian Vampires. If anything I've said makes you want to buy or rent this, then seek immediate medical help. There's probably a fetish site out there that caters to stuff like this. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm Tom, nerdremix.com. Support independent cinema. I'm going to go wash my eyeballs. Thanks.